I think, to be honest, I first realised I was gay when I was about 13 years old, which was about 4 years ago now. I remember at the time thinking I didn't know what it was, I didn't know why I felt this way, I didn't put it in words at the time. I never actually said, oh, I think I'm gay. I just used to sit there and think, oh, I don't fancy girls yet, maybe I'll fancy them soon, maybe I'll eventually start acting straight. But I just didn't feel that way. Then I realised that I started to like boys, which was quite scary at the time considering I was only about 13 when I started to realise it properly. I remember having no one to tell. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't tell my dad. I was scared that he'd think it was bad. I was scared to tell my mum. I was scared to tell my sister and my brother. I was completely alone. Then I remember someone in school, my friend, told me that he felt the same way and he didn't know what to do. So I told him that, oh, I've been feeling the same, and we both confided in each other. Both thought that we were gay, but because we were so young, we said that we weren't going to tell anyone. Then, about a year later, it turned out that he was the first boy I ever kissed, which was a big mistake, as the next day I found out that he'd told all his friends, and eventually the whole school found out, which was really bad at the time for me, being about 14, and I was absolutely terrified. I remember coming into school not knowing that everyone knew, and I walked into the classroom and the whole class just stared at me. I didn't know what was going on. I sat down and this group of friends were all laughing in the corner, looking at me and making snide comments, and I realised that something had happened, someone had said something. So I asked my friend what was going on, and he said, oh, haven't you heard? I said, no, I haven't, I don't know what's going on. And he told me exactly what was going on. He said that the rumour had gone round that I'd been doing stuff with this lad, which wasn't true. We'd only kissed, but the rumour had gone round a lot, and it had gone worse and worse as it spread. So I had the whole school, every lesson I went to, people were looking at me, people were laughing, people were saying, is it true, is it not, are you gay, are you queer, are you a puff, is it all true, I hope it's not. I had one of my group of friends at the time who I thought were my friends were completely ignoring me, laughed every time I tried to speak to them, and when I spoke to him I brought him up on it and I said I didn't want anyone to know yet, I wasn't ready, I'm too young. And he said that he's really sorry but he's ready to come out. So he came out and I didn't. I told everyone it wasn't true, which was quite bad. I felt quite mean afterwards that I denied it, and some people believed me, some people didn't. But I was so scared at the time, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't ready to come out, I was too young, and we were both in an all-boys Catholic school, and it was a very hard place to be out in, which I found out a lot later on. When I was about 15, I decided that I couldn't lie anymore, so I told a couple of my close friends that I thought I was gay, which they were fine with. I felt good, so I got a bit confident and I decided that I was going to come out and tell people. Eventually it went around the school again, people were laughing at me, people were making comments, people, every time I got in an argument, said, oh, at least I don't fancy boys, making hurtful statements. People used to sit in the classroom and say, oh, I hope you don't fancy me. People wouldn't sit next to me. One boy in particular used to give me a hard time, saying things like, oh, if I used to have an argument, he'd go, oh, sorry, don't kiss me, things like that. Got really bad to the point that I decided that I was going to tell everyone it was a phase and I wasn't actually gay, so I actually took it back and I felt worse than ever. I felt completely awful, I didn't know what to do. I felt that if I'd tried to come out and no one accepted me, and I'd taken it back, I'd lied to myself, and I was so alone, so depressed. I had no one to speak to, I had no gay friends, I knew no one who was gay, everyone around me was pure Catholic, and it was a horrible, horrible time. I felt awful every single day. I felt that I was never going to get better. I couldn't accept myself, and I was going to live a lie for the rest of my life. To one point that I decided that I was going to leave school. I decided that I wasn't going to tell anyone that I was leaving, and I was going to wait till the end of year 11, and I was going to go to a different college. I was 16 when I decided that I was going to break contact with a lot of people. I felt that I was ready, and I was a bit older now, and I started to make friends with people out of school. I started to make my own friends, and I told one of them, now my best friend, that I think I may be gay, and he said, cool, I don't see the problem. He took it very well. He was absolutely fine. He was the first person to make me realise that there actually wasn't a problem, and I started to realise that all the years and all the months that I've been getting all the trouble, I started to actually think that I wasn't good. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't as good as them. For example, it completely clicked as soon as he said, you're the same, who cares? It's like hating someone who's born with blonde hair. They didn't choose it. They didn't decide that they're going to be born with that colour, so why should you abuse them for it? I never chose. I'm happy with who I am now, but at the time I never chose to be gay, so why should I be getting the abuse for it? So when I realised that I am actually okay, there's nothing wrong with me, that's when I started to get more confident, and I realised that if they've got the problem, they can live with the problem. I'm not going to be the one who's hurt. If they actually think I'm any less of a person, then let them. I just completely grew up in the space of a second, and I got confident, and I felt free for the first time in my life. So I started to tell people. I left school, I went to a college where all my friends went, my true friends, and eventually everyone in my old school found out, and I never denied it. They'd say, oh, are you gay now? And I'd say, yeah. Have you got a problem? And funnily enough, now that I have the confidence to accept me and I will confront people, I never got any trouble. Obviously there is trouble occasionally in the streets. People say things, people will call you a fag or a puff or a queer, but I think I can take it. I feel that I'm just a normal human being, so if anyone has that opinion, they let them have it. Don't let them put you down. Don't let them make you feel that you're not as good as them, because if anything, they're the unnatural ones for having such a negative personality that they will hate you for something that doesn't concern them, that they should have no opinion on. Then they're not worth knowing. I made that mistake to think that they were my friends and that I should care so much about them, but then I realised that they don't matter, and you will find people who will accept you. If you feel now, currently, that you're scared to tell people, and I've had people, because I came out at 16 to my parents and my family. I have had people coming up to me and saying, listen, I need help, that I'm scared about what my friends will think. But I'll say the same thing to them and you. As I say, I'll always say is that if you're scared to tell them because you know that they won't accept you for who you are, then they're not your friends, and you will find friends that will accept you. I made that mistake, and now I regret ever worrying about what they thought, because now I don't speak to them. They're not my true friends. I thought they were my friends, but they weren't, and now I feel better than ever. So as long as you know that you will find people who will accept you, there are hundreds of people. There's more people out there that accept you for who you are than there are homophobic people, and I'm sure that's true, because I hardly meet homophobic people. If you meet someone who's homophobic, it's quite shocking for me, because there's only a couple of people now in my life that I do experience homophobic attitudes from. Obviously it's not perfect, I had a comment made from one of my family members that I must have been abused at a young age to be gay, because they don't understand it, but they've made that comment. They said that I must have been abused, which is a completely awful thing to say to my mum especially, and my mum was devastated, and I was outraged that such a comment was made. I felt it was just completely awful. And my family, when my family's concerned, they were completely wonderful. For years I thought that they were going to be negative, that they wouldn't accept me, but I didn't have any problems from any of them. My mum was a bit upset at first. She cried and she said that it obviously isn't what she wants, but she's happy for me and that I finally accepted myself and she'll be proud of me whatever I do, which I took in my stride. I didn't want to get upset because I knew it must be hard for parents to accept that their kids are gay, which is quite upsetting, but I didn't want to make a fuss about it because I loved her. And then over the year that I've been out, she's completely accepted it. She's fine. She said that she wouldn't have me any other way. She's proud of me. My sister never said anything. She was brilliant. My brother, he's my best friend. He is always there for me. He'll look out for me if I'm upset, and it's just brilliant. And my dad, I was really worried about what my dad would think, but I said to him, listen Dad, I'm gay, and I really want you to be okay with it. And the first thing he said to me was, well, when you get a boyfriend, I'm going to have to take you out for a drink. And I just felt amazing that I went from thinking that it doesn't get better to having this lifestyle where I'm completely proud about who I am and people accept me. And I want you to know that if you can get rid of the people who won't accept you and find loving, caring friends that will accept you for who you are, then it will get better. And you don't have to deal with bullies who will put you down for your sexuality, because I'm proof. And there's plenty of people that will tell you that there's no point in keeping yourself in this position where you can't be confident and you can't be out. You can do it. It's so much better. Thank you.